This video really hurts to make, but I think the Mustang GTD is pretty much dead on arrival. Yes, guys, the Mustang GTD that was supposed to be the only American production car with a 7-minute Nurburgring. I mean, the whole personality around the Mustang GTD was its Nurburgring time and how it's going to be so fast around that. It was the whole hype before you even got the official numbers, and people were saying this is going to do a sub 7-minute Nurburgring time. And it did that. It did 6 minutes and 52 seconds. And that was the first American production car that ever did a lap like that. And it was very impressive to have a Mustang. And being a Mustang guy, it just felt so good to be proud of owning this product right now and having the top end model of the GTD doing those kind of things around European and German cars. But as we know it, that Chevy went to the Nürburgring with their ZR1 and the ZR1X, and unfortunately both of those models, not one but both of those models, beat that Nürburgring time. The ZR1 came in right around 6 minutes 50 seconds or almost 51 seconds, while the ZR1X did 6 minutes and 49 seconds, and those weren't even professional drivers. Not to say they were like beginner drivers, but they weren't professional drivers. And just having that time is just mind-blowing. And the big thing about it is not only that is it much faster, it's also much cheaper. Now with the GTD, we know it starts in low $300,000, and if you spec it up, they can go all the way to $400,000. And I get it, it's a very unique car with a unique suspension, 5.2 liter supercharged V8, all the good stuff. And it's, you know, just having a regular Mustang, or at least having the name of the Mustang that is also an EcoBoost for like $30,000, to have a $300,000 Mustang GTD pulling those kind of numbers is beyond impressive. Don't even get me wrong, it is beyond impressive. But the ZR1 is just a different animal. I've always said it that the C8 platform is really good. If I was to ever upgrade out of the Mustang, I think C8 platform, even the base C8 Corvette, is just an amazing bargain for performance. And the ZR1, ZR1X, I mean, no one saw ZR1X coming out making 1250 horsepower. Even the base ZR1, if you can call it base ZR1, makes 1064 horsepower, and obviously it's a mid-engine car, so it definitely helps with the traction control, something Mustang has always struggled with, given that it's a front engine and the rear wheel drive. So I mean, yeah, this base ZR1 that actually posts a faster lap time than the Mustang GTD starts off at $175,000. And if you wanted to go ZR1X, the pricing just got announced for those. We were expecting like $250,000, given that it's got the all-wheel drive setup. It's got 1250 horsepower. It was going to be insane. But Chevy just kind of surprised all of us, like they have been doing with each iteration of the C8 Corvette. Each trim level, each model that they come out with, we're surprised with it. And the ZR1X pricing is going to start with around $207,000. And I mean, forget the ZR1X. If you just look at the ZR1 starting off at $175,000, and I know there's going to be markups and all of that, but let's just compare MSRP to MSRP for now. But compare that to the Mustang GTD base, it's almost double the price to have a slower car, when your whole personality or whole personality of that car is a Nürburgring time. So you have a car that's half the price, looks a lot more exotic, and is doing much faster lap times at the Nürburgring than the Mustang GTD. And that is very concerning. I know the GTD just got a lot of reviews recently. I think a lot of people were allowed to post a video review. We saw the Jay Leno video and all of that. It is an impressive machine, and to have the name of the Mustang, don't get me wrong, it's very impressive. But Ford sold this car as this whole Nürburgring, the track monster, and that was pretty much the whole personality. It wasn't about how fast it can go straight line. It was all about, even when I attended the Ford Nationals a couple months ago, I spoke to a couple of the engineers, and all they talked about is the track time. All they talked about is the Nürburgring, how it's the first American production car to do that. And all that is very exciting when you don't have any competition around. But now, the ZR1, even if you get the base ZR1, you manage to even pay, you know, let's say you pay a markup to 20 grand, 25 grand markup for base ZR1. You're talking about $200,000 for a car that looks a lot more exotic than a GTD. And it's faster around Nürburgring than the Mustang GTD. And that is very concerning. I know the GTD is going to be extremely limited quantity. They're all probably all spoken for, so the sales aren't really going to be impacted by that. But if you really take a step back and think about it, the ZR1 is just absolutely killing it. And that's coming from a hardcore Mustang guy. I've owned 2 Mustangs. I'm always looking for a new Mustang. But I mean, the C8 platform, the ZR1 is just insane value for the money. And I think that goes to show that the competition is a good thing. I mean, when they posted those numbers, Ford came back, responded on the Insta saying that it's game on. And Chevy responded back saying, let's bring it on. So they're going to go back and forth trying to improve the Nurburgring time. We might even get, 6 minute 51, 6 minute 50 seconds Nurburgring time out of the Mustang GTD, which would be very exciting. It's going to be good for us as consumers, even though we might not see these cars ever. I might not get to see it. I mean, ZR1, at least you're going to have more availability. GTD is extremely limited quantity, where it's pretty much non-existent. I might be lucky to see one in person outside of Ford product, someone actually who owns it. But ZR1, I've seen C7 ZR1s here and there, and C8 ZR1, I'm sure I'll catch them at Cars and Coffee. Not frequently, but more than what I would see with the Mustang GTD. So I think the Chevy's pretty much killing it. Having competition is a good thing. So, and that's something with the S650 Mustang they've always missed, that there was no competition. So there's no incentive to improve on it. That's why we got overpriced product, not much change from the S550, versus now we have rumors with Dodge coming back. So hopefully that's going to improve the S650 Mustang as well. I'm talking about the base GTs and the dark horses, not the GTD, of course. That's in a different league on its own. And GTD was always going to suffer from, if you have 300K to blow, why would you buy a Mustang? And Chevy, I mean, the Corvette still suffers from that, even though it's a much better sports car. It's always been a much better sports car, more than a straight line car. It's always suffered with that too, because a lot of people have said, if you're going to pay 100K for a Z06, if you're going to pay 100K for a C7 ZR1, why not get a Porsche? Why not get, German? Why not get something European, something more exotic? And that's always been an issue with this. And even to this day, I think a lot of people are saying, why would you pay 200K for a ZR1 when you can get a 911? And that's a valid point. And imagine, I mean, C8 at least looks exotic. At least it looks the part. GTD, the Mustang GTD, just looks like a regular Mustang. I mean, most of us can tell with the wide body and the massive wing that it is not a regular Mustang. But for a lot of people who don't know anything about cars, they might think it's, pretty much a modified regular Mustang, nothing too different, not a 300K car. So that's going to be different. So it's going to be interesting to see how Ford is going to respond to this. But as of right now, I have a feeling that Mustang GTD is going to really struggle, because these GTD numbers around the Nurburgring are just absolutely crazy. And in a way, I'm excited. I'm excited that there's competition there. And hopefully we can see something similar for the regular S650 Mustangs too, if Camaro comes back or if the Challenger comes back. Because then maybe we can finally get an S650 Mustang product worth its price tag. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment below, what are your thoughts on ZR1 just completely dominating the Mustang GTD in this segment? And of course, subscribe to Red 50 for more videos.